And good evening. How are you doing? It's Tony here from Early Doors Football TV. And as you can see on the fun now, we're going to talk about Declan Rice and basically where we go from there. Does the player leave or does he stay with West Ham? First of all, though, just want to go on a bit of an interesting article. Gary O'Neill recently sacked today after basically keeping him up in the Premier League. Considering he finished 15th in the table, I thought he would have stayed on and kept a chance, but it seemed that this was in the pipeline. I think they got rid of him far too early, and they've now appointed Spanish coach Doni Areola. So it'll be interesting to see what he's going to be like. Apparently, he's not supposed to be a bad coach, but it'll be interesting to see what develops from that point there. So let's see. As we know, Arsenal recently put a bid in for Declan Rice, which was flatly rejected by West Ham, and obviously that was rightly so. So we look at the potential clubs that could put a bid in for Declan. So I want to put it out to the chat. Does he stay or does he go? Simple as that. So let's have a look at the clubs that obviously were interested in signing the player. The first one that came in at the beginning of June was Bayern Munich. They started with apparently talking with him, and Thomas Tuchel is a great admirer of Rice. He said the talks were supposed to be quite positive, but after some lengthy discussions, it seems that Rice wanted to stay in England. So basically, Bayern said, "Okay, no problems at all," and are no longer in pursuit of him. So what about Arsenal? Arsenal itself, as we know, they put in a derogatory offer of £80 million plus add-ons. This was rejected by West Ham flatly. And obviously, as always, we came in and told them, we wanted £100 million plus a player. And if that, you're not going to go down that route, then it's £120 million flat out. When you looked into the deal, the worst part about it was they wanted to pay over 6 years, instalments of 6 years, similar to what they did with Pepe. When you look at that, 72 million over 3 instalments, well, you know the rest. He basically fell off the radar, didn't want to be played. And that from that point onwards, he was just kind of looking at for loan deals. I think they're actually going to get rid of him altogether now. So, I couldn't go with that. Arsenal fans, you must seriously be questioning what is the intention of your club. Do you really want to, move forward with your next chapter after doing so well last season? Declan would obviously be a great addition. We also know that Partey is wanting to be moved on. It seems like he's probably surplus to requirements. But if he does go and you don't get Rice, who do you go for next? That's going to be a big question mark. So, when you look at the fact of you're apparently supposed to be going for a second bid, let's hope it's a better one than the first. But if you don't, obviously the vultures are flying around and they're looking at the bones and who's going to come in next. So we know that obviously your chances to sign Rice are a little bit weakened now, especially the fact of Chelsea, Man United, and even City in the background waiting to see what goes on to get this player. Manchester United, they're obviously a great admirer of Rice, and Ten Hag is looking to bolster his midfield, especially as he's looking to do better this season compared to last. The interesting part was, I don't know if you saw it yourself, while they're training at Man United's Carrington training ground, there was a little bit of a kind of Instagram messages going on between Luke Shaw, Harry Kane, and even Rice himself, with all love emojis, all kind of looking nicey. We're going to sign with each other, etc. But I don't know. We'll see from that point there. I think the stumbling block for Ten Hag is this bidding war that's going on between Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim. I think the Glazers are just looking for who's going to bid the most. And at the moment, both parties are offering the same amount of money, although the Sheikh's money looks like it's an outright buy. But Ten Hag is quite frustrated because it's not just Rice that he can't go for. There's several other players as well that are kind of being held back because of this, this embargo, because they don't know who's going to become the new owner. Once that comes through, it might be interesting. You might see Man United actually put in a serious offer, especially if they go for Kane as well. Obviously, Mason Mount, they're supposed to be going with a second offer.
So if you look at the three England internationals together, could be a good thing for Man U. This obviously puts West Ham and Rice in a great position, as obviously they don't know, don't exactly have to sell the player. I mean, he's still got 2 years on his contract. But who else can, sway the deal basically with a great offer? As we know, Chelsea, they're possibly going to put an offer in for the player, which would make sense for Poch, because obviously when you think about it, they're having a big old clear out with several players apparently off to Saudi Arabia. So it's going to leave a big hole in the middle of the midfield, which Rice would fill in nicely. But I don't think they will, because obviously they've spent too much over the last couple of seasons. So that leaves obviously Man City. So after seeing, the first bid rejected by West Ham, City made a big inquiry on Friday about an interest in, hijacking the deal. But I think they're just kind of tentatively waiting to see what Arsenal does next. Are they going to go with a second bid? And if so, how much is the amount going to be? They could blow the opposition out of the water. As you know, they've got a serious amount of money. And obviously they could offer several key players as a sweetener to West Ham. So player plus cash. Calvin Phillips is one of those who's been touted. It's been on the cards for a while now, but it seems that Phillips himself wants to stay. He wants to kind of prove his worth to Pep Guardiola. Can he offer something that that is missing, especially with Gundogan and obviously Silva moving on as well? So that could be a £120 million deal, probably 80-90 million plus Calvin Phillips. Could it be enough to tempt West Ham? Could it be enough to tempt Rice? We won't know. We won't know until it happens. Another player that City could offer is 19-year-old winger Carlos Borges. Apparently, he's quite an attacking player, seen as a future star for City, and it has obviously caused a little bit of unrest between the City fans, because they're kind of saying, hold on, this is our kid, we don't want him moving on, he can do something for us. So we'll see. Obviously, one thing City can offer to Rice compared to what Arsenal can offer is league titles, cups. Let's be real, we know that Arsenal are going to be in the Champions League, but how far will they progress considering the strength of their squad? So City seems more of a tempting deal. Obviously, West Ham, especially the West Ham fans, we don't want to lose Rice. He's a good player for us. He loves the club. He loves being where he is. But I can understand from his point of view, he's looking for more experience. He's looking for cups. He's looking for silverware. He's 24 at the moment. He's still not even in his prime yet. So for cups, silverware, yeah, he's got a lot more to come, kind of thing. I mean, when you look at the fact of Calvin Phillips, he's only been there for a short period of time and he's got 4 cups under his belt already. West Ham, as I mentioned, can dig their heels in for the time being, and obviously they'll just look for what is the best deal that comes for them. So they're in the best position. Rice himself, he's keeping himself very quiet, and rightly so. He's concentrating on playing for England at the moment. Obviously, as you know, they're on tonight, so don't forget to watch that. But it's when he comes home, that's when I think it's going to become interesting. That's when we're going to start seeing clubs putting more effort in to actually kind of want the player. So it'll be interesting over the next week, 2 weeks. Does anyone come in? Does Arsenal offer a better deal? Actually, we know the rumour is he's wanting to stay at home in London itself. He's got a young family, but at the end of the day, money talks. So yeah, no problems at all in that. So let's see now. Hello to Henry Ray. Glad to see you come onto the channel. Hope you're doing well. Great to see you. And hopefully catch you next time as well. But yeah, I mean, if you look at it, money talks sometimes. So the player could move on just because of that alone. So for me, you can see all these Arsenal channels. They're putting all this Arsenal's done. He's basically got it. We've got a done deal. Rice is our player. As always, the rumour mill is always rife. It's always strong at this time of the year. For me, until a player puts pen to paper and he's wearing that shirt, he's still someone else's player. So until we see that, I'll only be convinced then. At this moment, it's all rumours. Like I said, Rice is not saying anything. Why should he? I mean, he's happy at the club. He's you know, he's blatantly said that. But like I said, he does want to move on. So we'll see. We will see in that. I'm glad to see you're okay, Henry Ray. Hopefully you'll catch you another time. I see you've got another stream coming up shortly, so I'll be looking to join onto that as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll go from there. So as I said, this is my first stream. Don't forget, if you can, while you're looking, to share, like, and subscribe. Obviously, the more I can build this channel up, the more content I could try to offer. But I'm going to keep it short and sweet today. There's not much else I'm going to say at this point now. As I said, keep an eye on the news channels. Keep an eye on the Sky Sports with their kind of transfer, believe it or not, stories, and we'll see from there. Other than that, I will say, make sure that you subscribe to Henry Ray as well. He's got a stream on tonight at 10 o'clock. So if you can, get yourself onto that. Other than that, I'm going to sign off. It's been a long day for me at work. Dinner calls. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Let's hope that England gets another result for that. And hopefully I'll catch you next time. So for now, enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll catch up with you soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye.